Ciao Bella. Starting off your fashion journey can be one of the most difficult things that you can try to do within the fashion space. You have so many questions, you don't know who to ask or where to even begin. So I wanted to create a series I called the Ultimate Fashion Guide, where slowly I can build up a collection of videos that can help anyone from a beginner in the fashion space who is trying to get their foot in the door to an expert who already thinks they know everything. So in today's video, we'll be starting off with where do you start? Dude, it is so hot in here. It is so hot. Now, before we get into the video, there's gonna be a brief section where I'm gonna discuss a couple of quick definitions, just so you can understand how the video may work. The first word is going to be vintage. Vintage is an object such as clothing and jewelry that represents a previous era or social period, at least 20 years old. Basics, a simple classic item, usually of a solid color, that's adaptable to many occasions by a change of accessories. Wash refers to different shades jeans appear in after manufacturers wash their jeans. Fast fashion, inexpensive clothing produced rapidly by mass market retailers in response to the latest trends. Now that we have the definitions out of the way, let's go ahead and get into today's video. First, you're gonna need some good basics. Now, when it comes to basics or the essential, there's a couple items that really stand out. I'm talking about t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, tank tops, socks, underwear, jeans, pants, so on and so on. These are the crucial basics of anybody's wardrobe. But there's a couple pieces that really stand out amongst the rest. Those two items are going to be t-shirts and hoodies. T-shirts can be incredibly difficult to find the perfect one for you. Trust me, I've spent countless years and so much money trying to find the perfect black or white tee. But fear not, I have created a list going from cheapest to most expensive to help you out in that search. So starting off at our cheapest t-shirt is going to be the Pro Club Heavyweight Tee, coming out at $8. Like I said, it's going to be the cheapest, but don't worry, it is still a good all-around t-shirt that you can buy. So depending on your budget, this could be a great pick. Next t-shirt is going to be the Shaka-Wear 7.5 ounce heavyweight t-shirt. Now, Shaka-Wear makes fantastic essentials. The one thing with Shaka-Wear tees though are they're extremely long. So if you're okay with hemming or cutting your t-shirt, this might be the perfect t-shirt for you, only coming up at $12. Next t-shirt might be the best value and arguably quality t-shirt you can buy on this list. It's going to be the Rue Porter Luxury Tee, coming up at $15. I've owned a ton of Rue Porter products. They're incredible. The one thing I will say though is if you don't like high neck t-shirts, this one might not be the one for you. Next t-shirt on the list is going to be the American Apparel G1031AA t-shirt. Dude, that's such a long name, dude. That's an absolute tongue twister. This model of their t-shirt is coming up at $16, and American Apparel has some of the best blanks you can buy, but this one right here is probably my favorite model that they've made for t-shirts. Next is my personal favorite, and that is going to be the Unigo Crew Tee, coming up at $20. The overall fit and quality is one of my favorites, comes in a ton of colors, and is so accessible, so definitely cop this one as well. Next, for the women out there, we have the Cause Clean Cut Tee, one of my favorites. Dudes can also wear it as well, but just be careful, it can be a little too cropped. Coming up at $45, it is a little bit expensive, but for the overall quality and cut of the tee, I can say it can be worth it. The last tee on this list is the most luxurious of all the tees. It's one that I own in a couple different colors, but it is incredibly expensive, but trust me, the quality makes it worth it. It's going to be the Handwerk Basic Tee, and it comes up at $95. But the quality and the form of which the t-shirt is made is incredible. The more and more you'll learn about t-shirts and how cotton is made, you'll learn about something called long staple, which if you want to learn more about that, you can check out other channels. But long staple fibers are some of the best cotton fibers you can get. It's what makes a cotton t-shirt almost feel like silk. And that's what the Handwerk tees are. So if you're looking for the most luxurious item on this list, go ahead and get yourself a Handwerk t-shirt. Now for hoodies. Hoodies are arguably almost as hard to find as t-shirts, but the thing is, if you're looking for blanks, it makes it slightly easier. There's only two that I really search for. However, there's a ton on the market that you can grab, but my personal two favorite would be Vintage Russell hoodies or Rue Porter Luxury Blanks. I know, Rue Porter's on the list again. Rue Porter Luxury hoodies are made in Portugal, heavyweight cotton, and if you're a fan of the heavyweight oversized hoodies, this one could be the one for you. And it's not too bad of a price either, coming up to $42. Now, if you're looking for something with more of that worn in feel, or you're just trying to spend a little cheaper, I would say be on the lookout for vintage Russell blanks. Now, they can range from anywhere as cheap as a couple dollars at the thrift or all the way up in the hundreds depending on what you're looking for, but they can be some of the best on the market. There are other options from stores such as Abercrombie, Uniqlo, LA Apparel, and Gap, but these are two of my personal favorite. For other not as essential basics like socks, tank tops, or underwear, places or brands like Uniqlo, Hanes, Calvin Klein, COS, or even specialty stores like Carhartt, Dickies, Supreme, Seven Stores, or Rue Porter can offer great essentials at affordable prices. However, on your search for basics, try to avoid brands like Zara, H&M, Forever 21. This is because they're known as fast fashion brands. Now, the problem with fast fashion brands is they make a ton of clothes that are poorly made, so it doesn't last you as long. So what ends up happening is you wear it for a couple wears, you wash it, it doesn't go the way you want it to, and you throw it away and it becomes waste. Now, even though brands like Uniqlo and COS are also known to be fast fashion brands, their quality is significantly better. So what ends up happening is your Uniqlo tee might last you for years before you eventually decide that you want to donate it to the thrift or you want to recycle it. But either way, overconsumption is the main reason that we have as many of our mental issues as we do. So not buying these brands and trying to buy something higher quality that lasts you longer does save you in the end. If you're interested to find out more about fast fashion and the negative effects it has on the environment, I've attached a PDF that has all my notes to this video, so you can click on the links below and it will read you to an article and a video I made in 2021 discussing all the facts with fast fashion. But anyway, let's continue with the video. Everybody needs a good pair of jeans. Now, when getting into fashion, a lot of people tell me this statement:
Jevon, I don't like jeans.
Now, I was someone in the same boat where I hated jeans. They made me feel uncomfortable, they were too tight, I didn't really like styling them. I'd rather wear anything else other than jeans. But now, all I wear is jeans. I basically live in them. So why is that? Well, the main reason you might not like jeans is because you might not be getting the right fit. So let's discuss the different styles that jeans can come in. The different styles are skinny, straight leg, boot cut, wide leg, and baggy. Each fit comes with different styles and benefits to the wearer. Skinny jeans are, well, skinny. However, they look best when paired with slimmer boots and more of a grunge aesthetic. Straight leg are the most versatile cut. They offer room in the thighs, but not too much where it looks baggy. It can be worn with basically anything. Boot cut are cut to flare out at the bottom so they can be worn over boots. Tends to give more space in the thighs unless you get a slim boot cut jean like the Levi's 517s. Wide leg offer a great amount of space in the thigh region without ballooning the overall shape of the jeans. Baggy are the most wide and offer the most space for your legs compared to all the other cuts. So I hear you asking yourself, what styles do I wear? Well, I'll tell you first which ones I wear the most. I tend to wear straight leg and wide leg the most out of all the different fit styles, but I do tend to love a good pair of baggy denim as well. And since baggy denim tends to be the most popular silhouette currently, I thought I would also share a couple of my favorite baggy denim on the market. The Weekday Astro denim offers probably the best value you can get from anything on this list, coming up at $60. However, if I'm not mistaken, I do think they only ship within the EU, so tough luck for all of us over here in the States. Next, for $120, you have the Studio Nixon Balloon Denim. I absolutely love a Studio Nixon. One thing you'll have to keep in mind though is it comes in one size fits all, so just make sure you look out for the proper one you need. Next denim on the list is going to be the Nash Carhartt collab over their double knee denim. Has one of the best fits you can find on the market, and coming up for $120 isn't too bad price-wise either. Next, for two heavy hitters, you have the Margiela Painter denim, which offers a great silhouette and what I think was Margiela's first baggy denim that they had created. And then you have the Acne Studios 2023 super baggy denim, which is probably my favorite on the list, but for that price range, it is utterly absurd. Now that you know your favorite style and fit of jean, let's figure out what's your favorite wash and where you can buy these jeans. Denim comes in 3 washes a lot of the time. These washes are light, medium, and dark. Each different wash can offer different things to an outfit, from light offering a more spring summer vibe, while you might wear dark more so in the winter. But let's talk about some of the best places you can buy jeans. You have 316, Ironheart, Uniqlo, Vintage Levi's, Vintage Wrangler, Vintage Lee, and Vintage Rustler. Levi's are the iconic denim company that really started it all. Some of their most popular models are the 501s, 511s, and 517s. These models offer a good jumping off point when trying to find your favorite cut. Now, if I really wanted to, I can make an hour-long video discussing why denim is so popular, or even going into the minute details and the history of denim. But if you really want to learn more and answer some of those questions like why is Japanese denim so popular, what is selvage denim, or what is raw denim, then please check out these great YouTubers who discuss denim to the fullest potential. Check out Iron Snail, Drew Joyner, and CRD. In the denim section, I listed off a couple vintage items in vintage Levi's, vintage Lee, vintage Rustler, so on and so on. And you might ask yourself, well, what is vintage and where can I buy it? Now, vintage is just any item that was 20 years or older. So even something that could have been made in the early 2000s can now be considered vintage. But there's three main ways that you can go out there and hunt down your perfect vintage piece. The first and the best way is of course going to be the thrift. Now, it's the cheapest way to obtain any vintage item. However, it is also the most difficult because you have to comb through and search countless racks and racks and racks of clothes. And that's if your thrift even has anything vintage in it. It can take forever before you eventually find your perfect piece. So what tends to happen is people take the second route, which the second option is going to be a curated vintage store. Now, the best of which is going out there and supporting local businesses around you that might have their own vintage shops. They kind of act as a middleman. They did all the hard work of searching through all those racks to find those vintage clothing. So there will be a bit of a, how do you phrase it, premium on these clothes, but they take away a lot of the work and the headaches. The last way is going to be using online marketplaces, apps, and storefronts to find your own vintage pieces. Think of it like online thrifting. Now, there's places that create online stores that you can then shop at that are kind of like your local vintage shops, but they're just online, that you can do the same thing, but it's going to come at a premium. Or you can use different apps or websites that allow you to sift through hundreds of thousands of listings, but you can actually find your perfect piece for quite cheap. So here's a list of some of my favorite places to shop online for vintage clothes. First, with online curated shops, you have the 13 Club, Unsound Rags, Poor Taste Co., and Despise Gossip. For online marketplaces, you have eBay, Depop, Grailed, Macari, Vinted, Poshmark, Vestair, and The RealReal. Now, if you guys want me to make an in-depth video where I discuss some of the tips and tricks for online shopping to be able to save yourself some time, headaches, but also give you a better chance of getting the best deals, let me know in the comments below and I'll try to make a guide video on that as well. Lastly, we have accessories. Now, when it comes down to accessories, accessories are the most personal style driven item on this entire list. Someone might like wearing a ton of rings and bracelets while someone else may not. Someone might love wearing their favorite scarf that their grandma gave them while someone else might not even like scarves. Accessories are very hard for me to say you should buy this or you should not buy that. It's all driven on your own personal style and experimentation. So instead of me going through and telling you what you should get or some of my favorite places for accessories, I'll just list off some of my favorite places to buy jewelry and a couple of my favorite watches that I love wearing. And then with that information, you can take that and hopefully that gives you a good starting off point to dive into your own personal accessories that you love. My favorite place to buy jewelry is going to be Pilgrim Jewelry. And then for my favorite watches, I really wear two all the time, with one other being a specialty, but it's going to be the Casio A700. This is what you see me in a lot of the time. It's my everyday watch. And then my starter watch is the Casio A158. Probably a classic and one of my favorite watches I own. If you guys want to learn more about personal style, click the info card above, which will take you to my 6 stages of personal style video, where I discuss each of the stages on my personal style journey and one that I think matches up with everyone else. And also feel free to check out my 10 personal fashion mistakes I regret making, which might also help you along your personal style journey. Feel free to also follow me over on IG as well as on TikTok. It's going to be BLVCK hoodie with 3 E's. But that's going to be it for me. Adios, amigos.